Hey you guys, it's Lacey. I'm going to get on here and I'm going to talk about knowledge. How knowledge is power, right? I actually was looking into this book this morning and then just now, and a couple pages popped out to me that I wanted to share with you that relates to how we can operate, in the high priestess or high priest mode and be our own shapeshifter of our reality, right? To really learn how to evolve from stress and trauma. And if I sound like I'm breathing hard, I am. Well, I'm not, but for some reason, I did the sauna yesterday, and I think my allergies just got, I don't know, it's just weird. So anyways, choose your own stress response. This is going to be on page 58. And the chapter's called Beyond Fight or Flight, right? So choose your own stress response. It says the latest science shows that there is more than one way to experience stress, but what determines which kind of stress response you have in any given moment? And different types of stressful situations typically provoke different responses. For example, social stress usually increases oxytocin more than other kinds of stress. That's good because it motivates social connection, correct? In contrast, performance stress is more likely to increase adrenaline and other hormones that give you energy and focus. That's also good because it's what you need to do your best. Ideally, your response will be flexible and fine-tuned, and your body will respond to each stressful situation in a way that best uses your resources. A trial lawyer about to give summary statements should have a challenge response. When she gets home, if her kids are fighting over her attention, a tend and befriend response will soothe them herself. And if the fire alarm goes off in the middle of the night, a fight or flight response will give her and the rest of the family out of the house safely. So you see how stress, like our stress response, there's different ways that we respond to stress. So, and those are immediate situations, right? Your life history can also influence how you respond to stress. In particular, your early experiences with stress can have a stronger effect on how your stress system functions as an adult. For example, adults who experienced a life-threatening illness in their young and the youth tend to show strong oxytocin response to stress. They learned early on to rely on others in time of stress, priming them to have a tend and befriend response. In contrast, adults who experienced abuse during childhood show a smaller oxytocin response to stress. They are more likely to have learned not to trust others in stressful times. As adults, they are primed to cope through the self-defense of a fight or flight response on the self-reliance of a challenge response. Even your genes shape how you respond to stress. Some genes predispose people to enjoy the adrenaline rush of a stress response and seek out stressful stimulation. These same genes increase the tendency to have a competitive fight or flight response. Other genes affect how sensitive you are to oxytocin and therefore influence the tendency to have a tend and befriend response to stress. So your genetic profile even influences how strongly stress affects you. Some people are born more resilient to stress, which makes them less reactive to stressful circumstances and less easily changed for better or worse by stressful experiences. And then other people are naturally more sensitive to stress. Paradoxically, this increases the likelihood of both negative outcomes from stress, such as depression or anxiety, and positive outcomes such as heightened compassion and personal growth. However, as we'll see, none of these genetic differences are destiny. They set up predispositions that interact with your life experiences and conscious choices. The stress response system is adaptive, constantly trying to figure out how to best handle whatever challenges you face. So I'm going to go ahead and stop right here because that's a whole lot of information, page 58. But as you can see, as we are humans, we are conditioned all of our lives. And from the moment we were born up until yesterday, okay? And conditioning in the sense of a mindset. Trauma, how we respond to things, everybody's walk is different, right? So it's important to be somebody that knows how to cleanse your energy, to really learn your auric field, how you work, right? Very, very important, right? This is a very, very important component, but also understanding the spirituality side of it. Because if we cannot conquer thyself, learn how to fix ourself, how can we even be an asset to humanity, to the world? How are we going to be able to respond? And let me tell you, I know what she was about to get to, because basically what she's trying to say, that's the purpose of this book, right? Is teaching you how to handle it properly, to where you become, literally, this book, I haven't read the whole thing, but I can tell you so far, everything that I've read so far, it is a wise, has a very wise, gentle, and methodical approach, and how to basically become unfuckwithable. Now, also, I don't have the book. I don't know what I did with it, honestly. It's called Emotional Intelligence. That was a book I read many years ago. Didn't even understand it when I was reading it, to be honest with you. Like, that was another one of those books that I actually found on the road when I was leaving my home. This was many, many years ago. It was literally like God placed it right there for me, because God was like, what you're going through, you need emotional intelligence. So, but I have no idea where that book went to be. It was a hard copy too. And I've looked high and low for it, and I'm like, I have no idea. But anyways, it's called Emotional Intelligence. I'll probably find it online, and I'll just screenshot it. I'll put it in my community page. So you can check that out tonight. I will do that by the end of tonight, just so you know. But anyways, going back to this, what she's teaching you and what everybody else teaches you, and that's why it's important to have knowledge, right? To constantly want to learn, is because what it's teaching you is how to fight, right? How to fight against your own self, right? How we're battling ourselves. And then something that I also wanted to read to you guys in the Kabbalah, I'm definitely not trying to force my religion on anybody, or what I believe in. It's not even really religion, it's actually spirituality, but this is kind of like a form of religion and spirituality combined. But something that I wanted to let you guys know about the Kabbalah, because I didn't think the other day, after I had talked about these books, I heard somebody say, do they even worship God or something, or do they even believe in him, or is that really connected to Jesus or the Most High? Yes, it is. It actually is. So God is God. There is nothing to compare with God. God is God. In Kabbalah, God, the transcendent, is called Ayin. Ayin means in Hebrew, no thing, for God is beyond existence. He is neither below nor above, nor it is in the movement or in stillness. There is nowhere Ayin is not and is. God is absolute nothing and everything, okay? And so y'all just need to really read it. And I mean, this is just something I can tell you. You know, for instance, it even says, the divine act is visualized symbolically as follows, right? So then it says, the Kav beam, or the divine will, the Kav, or the beam of divine will, manifested in 10 distinct stages of emanation. This is even echoed in another rabbinical saying. But again, you guys, I don't like to really, this is a very personal one for me right here. My relationship, my spirituality definitely is based on a lot of spirituality, obviously. But there's a really, really, really good book, and I wanted to read that. And then, what did I do with that one? And then last but not least, before I get into actually doing a reading, I'm going to open this up and see where it lands. Where'd it go? Hold on. No, I saw it earlier. I was half asleep when I was reading it. I'm so sorry. Where'd it go? Okay. And it says, number 17, Khalil Gibran. And a woman who held a babe against her bosom said, "Speak to us of children." And he said, "Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls. For their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. That was a powerful one for some parents out there. And then it continues to say, with a beautiful, beautiful picture right there, you are the bows from which your children, as living arrows, are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infant. I'm sorry, I get teary up and I have to laugh because it makes me want to cry, and I don't want to cry because it's such a beautiful, it's just so beautiful. You are, because I have children, obviously. You are the bows from which your children as living arrows are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his might, that his arrows, I'm so sorry, I'm getting emotional, that his arrows may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness. Excuse me. For even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable. Whew, that is an emotional one right there. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is my favorite book. That's why I love this book, because I always feel it. I always feel it. It's so deep and so deep. So we're going to go ahead and get into a quick channeled message, Broken Arrow, right as we're saying this. That is so crazy. Embrace the energy of peace. Ooh, my eyes are burning too. Give me 1 second. Broken Arrow. Embrace the energy of peace. And I do feel very at peace today. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day today. Resting, rejuvenating, working, whatever it is that you're doing. I hope that all is well. Seer, see beyond the current situation. An elder, move beyond ancestral patterns. What is the path? What is the path? So we get the past, the present, and the future. What is the path? Oops, that's too many. What is the path? What is the path? What is the path? Okay, well, the path is, we are going to study. That's the path. Study. Knowledge is power. There's the path. No, I'll get to it in just a second. So, Broken Arrow, embrace the energy of peace. See beyond the current situation, and elder, move beyond ancestral patterns. So, I already strongly feel that the purpose of you connecting to the whole intro too, with me going into like, spirituality and everything, that it's important for you to understand your ancestors. That's the purpose of finding out who you are as a person, right? Learning thyself. Because if we don't understand who we are and our makeup, right? Our genetic makeup, or even our spiritual makeup, right? Because trust me, we belong. We have a spiritual family, right? We may not have, you may be somebody like me who doesn't really have family because you just don't connect with them. You don't see eye to eye with them. And it's not in a sense of that you think you're better than them. You just both live in two totally different agreements. One person is following one path and you're following another. And unfortunately, our paths are not the same. We just don't align. And it would be a disservice to myself to associate myself with certain people. Not that I think I'm stuck up. It's just, it would be a waste of time is what I'm trying to say, because we are in a totally different mindset. We're so different. And so it's very important to understand who you are, because you can get past, a lot of people are raised, literally, I know you know this, but a lot of people are raised to be just like their family, right? They're taught at a young age, for women, get older. By the time you're like 20 something, you're supposed to have kids. You need to either be a housewife. We're very conditioned. And we have to see beyond the current situation to move past the same patterns that are. How are we going to break generational curses and even get to our birthright blessings if we're living in other people's lives? Does that make sense? And I see that in a lot of families these days. I see a lot of families, like moms and dads and, grown ass adult children who are grown, right? They've moved on. But they still cling, to familia. They still cling to what their elders say about it. They still need like them to give them a say so about how to delegate in life, and it's such a toxic way of being, because for one, it teaches codependency, and for two, it teaches that you must always be submissive and subservient to older people, which is totally wrong, because there's tons of people who are even a year older than me and they're heathens. They're downright fucking demons. I am not going to respect nobody, or first of all, I will not be subservient to nobody. First and foremost. And if you have not figured that out about me already, then you are going to find out the hard way. And so these are toxic patterns and toxic traits that we have been conditioned to, that we've learned at a very young age. And it is societal, because it is imposed by the government. It is imposed by people. It is imposed by governing laws. And that's okay, because we need those things to establish order, right? So there's proper balance in the world, because if not, then people walk around and be careless and reckless. So, but regardless, you need to see past the illusion, basically. And so this is definitely for somebody. I feel like I'm talking to some parents, but I also feel like I'm talking to people who either have kids under the age of 18 that still live with them, or they co-parent, right? And or I'm talking to somebody that doesn't have kids but knows a lot of young people, and or I'm talking to parents but your kids are much older and they've already moved on. And I feel like all of these combined together, there's a common question, and it's like you feel like this person is lost, but it's the significant person, loved one of yours, and you're confused and you're wondering, when are they going to get on their path? But you're actually a crutch in their life, because you're a comfort zone. And when this person or this loved one, they're not being able to push past their comfort zone. So it's almost like a blessing and a curse. I mean, there's nothing, I understand it. Trust me, I'm not there yet. Both my kids are still under 18. They live with me. So I'm not there yet. I'm trying to, and even doing this today, I'm trying to prepare myself, because I know it's only a matter of time that it's, I'm going to be ripped, from what I'm so used to, being a single mom, living and working for my kids. My whole life is devoted to my kids. I really don't do anything else other than tend to my children and of course myself. But I'm a hermit 1000%. So I do strongly feel like that's the group of people that I'm talking to. And I see, yeah, for sure. Oh yes, but look at this. Look at how beautiful this is, though. Look at the children. It's like you have earth angels. Your children are earth angels. And I see you're like, when are they going to tap into their knowledge and grow and become this fierce? Because it's like they're like this right now, but at the same time, they're still like sticking to your, like something about the kids, like really staying codependent. There you go. Relying on, which again, there's nothing wrong. I'm not saying like you need to like ghost your children, no matter the age. Like obviously they live with you under 18, you can't do that. But I'm not saying like for the older ones, like don't ghost them. I'm just saying like something needs to be implemented. We need to see past the current situation. Does that make sense? We need to get outside. I'm even speaking to a parent. So this also applies to you as a parent, right? And also to the kid is what I'm saying and I'm hearing. So this is like a whole familial thing, and you need to help them move in that new direction, right? And you need to speak that over them. I'm hearing you need to speak it over them. I open the doors and I speak for new doors to open. I speak independence over my child. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm so emotional with this reading. Like, seriously, I don't know if I'm like picking up on y'all's energy or somebody's like been crying about their kids or something. I don't know. But like, this is an emotional reading because I almost cried just now. What is going on? And that is very interesting. Okay, so you have a very wise young daughter who is without a doubt a warrior. I do apologize. I'm actually using a different device today to record this, so I'm trying to get used to it. You have a daughter who, both your children are earth angels without a doubt. They literally could be a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. I'm strongly feeling Virgo for this one. And then I feel like strongly like Taurus, kind of Aries for this one, a Hunter or Sagittarius. Excuse me. But both of them are very grounded. They're very, good souls. They are definitely divinely guided and protected. Especially when the Earth Guardian comes out. We're dealing with Earth Angels here, like I said. Their soul is calling for them to travel, and so is yours, Mom, Dad, and maybe it's time for you to find you. Oh my goodness, there's so many messages coming through right now. So it's also a message for you by you releasing them and speaking power and authority. Why am I so choked up? Power and authority over your children. You're actually going to release them. Oh my God. And allow their blessings to come through, right? Their divinity, their coronation, I just heard. So it's like their coronation is coming. Somebody's birthday's got to be really like, seriously, because I kept on channeling May and April birth dates yesterday. I'm sorry, March. So March, April, May might be when their birthdays are, because yesterday was March and April. Somebody's birthday may be in April, March, April, or May, and then also September, and possibly December. But your soul is calling for this, right? To recalibrate your compass too, Mom and Dad. Like, it's time for you to step back into your true self. And I do feel like I am talking to somebody who actually is in the tarot community and or is into like, crystals and stuff like that. Like, I do feel like this is a psychic, like you are like kin to me in spirit is what I'm saying. Like, we resonate. Like, we are like spiritual fam. I'm strongly feeling that. Like, I strongly feel you're a psychic, you're seer as well, you're prophetic. And that's why you might be, okay, I see. And that's what I was feeling earlier too. It was like you're concerned because they haven't spiritually awakened or something, or they haven't tapped into their gifts, and you're like extremely gifted. I'm seeing and I'm hearing like you are somebody who does the damn thing. Like, you are a protector. I'm seeing like Athena energy and Artemis energy. You are literally like the bow and the arrow. Like, you must be Sagittarius, and or you definitely have Sagittarius highly aspected in your natal chart, in Virgo for sure, and or your children are Virgo. Somebody's a Virgo here for sure, because I'm Virgo, and I'm connecting to a Virgo energy. Oh, wow. This is so beautiful. Look at this. Direction, guardian, choose your path, and great teacher. This is clearly about moving in a new direction. This is clearly about being the great teacher. Learn from spiritual experiences. Oh my God. This reading could not be any more on point. And you know what's crazy? I literally got like 4 hours of sleep last night. I just caught myself stuttering a minute ago. I am like exhausted, to be honest with you. Like, I'm really tired today. But I was like, I need to do something productive because I can't just not do anything today. I did have other things that I had to do, but I ended up not doing them. I'm going to continue my mission tomorrow. But it's interesting. This is crazy how this reading, and I was like, I'm just going to get on here and see what comes out if it's worth, posting about. Because sometimes when I'm in this energy, I really don't channel clearly, but this is like a serious direct message. Like, this is no joke. It is very clear that God, the angels, and the universe want you to know that you are a great teacher, and that you're also a student at this time. You're learning how to let go, I'm hearing. Literally. It's like, it's the art of letting go. Moving in a new direction, choosing a new path. So you definitely need to call upon your angels and your ancestors and have them definitely guide you and direct you, because because this is enjoy growth and reap rewards. This is the outcome. And here we are again, the moon. Oh my gosh. Take note of intuitive messages. So Spirit is asking that you start writing down your messages, that's for sure. Look at this. What? Wise one, grow within your current situation. You see that? So use this as a guidance, as a lesson. I'm definitely talking to a feminine, but I feel like I'm talking to a masculine too. But like parents or something, or the extension of one. This is so neat. So this crow right here has looks like a black pearl in its mouth. You see that? That's pretty neat. Huh. You might have water in your chart as well. You might have like a Cancer, Pisces in you. I'm feeling more Pisces because the arrow is down. Huh. That's very interesting. But this is your message, you guys. This is a really good message, and it's 26 minutes long. Let me go ahead and do the house cards. I'm impressed for barely being aware. My lack of sleep. I'm very impressed. Great Spirit, Holy Spirit, Divine Mother. What is the message for the collective? In the 9th house, spiritual values, long range thinking or travel. What is to be shared? Wow, in the 9th house, travel. Somebody is clearly taking a new direction. Because whatever was in the past, even, it's so interesting. It says broken arrow, but then embrace the energy of peace. It's like something happened. There was a tower moment, basically. Something did not work in your favor, but it actually worked in your favor, is what I'm seeing and hearing, literally. Yeah. Interesting. Long range thinking or traveling. That is crazy. I mean, so wherever you are going, I mean, you could literally, because I'm actually really seeing like people traveling. Like I'm seeing like flights, and I'm seeing Chile, Argentina. Like, I'm not joking. Somebody's going like on an expedition. This is a very long journey. Somebody might even be going on a spiritual retreat. That's what this feels like. It really does. And I'm saying that because I see her clothing, right? I've been to Chile before, in Argentina, by the way. And I've been to Korea. I've been to Hawaii. And this is how they dress over there. And then look at the pillow over here. And then this card says trader, exchange energy to create abundance. And I'm also picking up, there was a trader in your energy with a broken arrow. Somebody betrayed you in the past. So you're choosing a new direction. And wherever you're going, oh, wow, I didn't realize. That's interesting. Oh. And wherever you are going, just know to use your inner compass. That broken arrow, that disappointment that happened that did not serve your highest good. Trust me, life is going to balance out so much more for you. And Taurus. I literally said this earlier. I'm talking to an earth sign. For sure, you got Taurus somewhere. Your beliefs, the costs of use the most direct way, and in Taurus. So your beliefs and your self-respect. I said this earlier in a message. Your beliefs and self-respect is definitely your guiding light, I'm hearing. Your spiritual values and your beliefs is what cost you this position, I'm hearing, or wherever you were before. You were not in alignment. So again, I've been speaking about how you need to be yoked properly with people in order to thrive in any work environment, right? Or any relationship. How if you're not on the same, you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying you got to be the same and identical, but there was just no alignment, I'm hearing. Like, these people were horrible. And your spiritual values and your beliefs is what cost you. But, let me tell you something. The power and self-respect and self-love, I'd rather struggle trying to rebuild myself back up again than live and coexist and work or be in a relationship with somebody who is toxic. I'd rather do that 10 times over than stay stuck in a toxic relationship or environment. And that's just me, because I've been through so much in my life that I can't. Being around toxic people and working in a toxic environment or coexisting with toxic people, like I can't breathe. Like I literally get sick. Like I can't do it. Like I've already made an oath to the universe, and I put that out there many years ago. I said no more, and I have been doing that ever since. I have been consistent about it, about not allowing people to be toxic around me, putting people in their place, spreading love and kindness, but having serious, strict boundaries when it comes to my mental health. And I feel like you're the same way. You're that type of person. You're extremely, extremely diplomatic when it comes to your relationships. You make sure that it's fair. It's a win-win, I'm hearing. You are a win-win type of person. In the 7th house, you want to make sure that when you're sealing the deal, that it is a blessed one. You're not in the business of wanting to be in a group of people where, we're not watering each other, we're not helping each other out, or I'm doing all the work and you're just sitting there doing nothing. You're extremely realistic about yourself, and you are always concerned. You must wait before you can. So I guess this is a simple wait and pause moment for you, because this definitely feels like current energy. Saturn is the planet of karma as well. Keep that in mind. So that's pretty neat. You have, you're turning things, you're doing things properly, but also keep in mind, move past ancestral conditioning and patterns. Why would you do that to me? Why? And then I'm going to do these cards, and then we're going to be done, okay? I'm actually getting sleepy now. You're a genius to experiment with, the discoveries of and resulting from the eccentricity of an Aquarius. That is very interesting, because did I say something earlier about water? I did, right? Yeah, right here, this lady. So you might also have an Aquarius child, or you have Aquarius, might be your moon or your rising as well, or one of your relatives or whoever's watching this. An unusual example of a different way of looking at an unexpected change, Uranus, the planet of change. So there's definitely resulting from the eccentricity. So whatever the discoveries, I'm seeing, okay, so you're like a powerful manifester. You are very smart. Oh my gosh. I love you guys. Seriously, my soul tribe. Y'all are really like my soul tribe, for sure. You know how to exchange energy to create abundance, and that's what you did. So it's like right place, right time, I'm hearing. And even though when you exited out of this situation or whatever, however this happened, you actually were a blessing. You did God's work, basically. You're an unusual example. People were like, that was odd. So who cares though, right? Because when we're spiritual, we always get that, people always want to judge us and call us witches and all this kind of weird stuff. And you're like, as my daughter would say, bro, I just read cards. Like, how am I a witch? That's what my daughter says. She's so funny, because she has her own little decks too. Stargazer, set your sights higher. And Water Guardian, I'm telling you, you definitely have water, or you're a very loving, nurturing person, and or your daughter is very nurturing, but connect with your emotions. See, connecting with children also helps connecting with your emotions. Your daughter might actually look like this, I heard. And so you just really need to stay connected to your children, is what I'm really strongly getting from all. Okay, this is so weird. This is the weirdest reading ever, because in the beginning of this reading, it was like, you need to give your children a break, but stay connected. So you need to stay connected spiritually and let them go. This is so weird. You need to retreat. All right, you guys, it's time for me to retreat, because I'm not sure if I'm making sense at this point, but this is your message. Don't ever cut the cord, is what I'm seeing and hearing. Don't ever cut the cord from them, but let them loose, obviously, the spiritual cord. Obviously, you've already cut the umbilical cord. I'm going to get some smart comments or spiritual hits. Anyways, You need to go and release and thank God for everything that He has been giving you, and be grateful and feel loved and comforted, because you are very well appreciated, loved, and you are doing an amazing work. Follow the voice of your soul. Don't forget to follow the voice of your soul, and then she will unleash the wild within. You got this. You got this. You got this. You're a great teacher. Your kids are teaching you, and life is going to be so abundant and blessed when you decide to basically, what is it called? Shift the environment, become the shapeshifter of your own life, and also help your kids, because your kids are definitely highly gifted. Your adult kids or young kids. And I'm also hearing and seeing, before I go, for the young kids that you do have a little patience. I know from experience with my girls, we, at a very young age, they were seeing angels, and it was just such a beautiful experience for me, because, I mean, they were like 7 and 8 and 9. It's from the age 7 to 10, basically, when I realized that they were extremely gifted, because my youngest would always tell me, Mommy, there's a lady up there, and she's wearing a red dress, or she's wearing a white, and she has like an orange aura. She would literally tell me what the angels look like and who she was seeing, and she would talk about the wings. And I was like, whoa, oh my goodness. So as children age, their gifts are going to, basically from ages, from my perspective, as early as 1, they can start telling you that they're spiritual. They will tell you, because they don't know. They don't know that that's not an actual real being, right? They actually see. And so those as young as 1, up until, I mean, literally until, so they transitioned into the physical. It was like, man, 11 and 12. So it was a good amount of time that they would tell me how they would see angels, and how they would just channel just weird, if something really bad was about to happen, one of them would like either get hurt really bad, or like something would happen where I would have to go pick them up at school, and then they would come home, and then they would tell me that they had this really bad dream the night before, or they would have like a day vision, and they would tell me, and I was like, oh my God, they were literally prophetically telling me and seeing into the future what was about to come, and they had no idea. And to this day, they still do it. They to this day. So just have patience, is what I'm saying, with your children. They'll tune into it. They'll finally tune it once you learn to let them go. As in, like, let them learn on their own. And that's what I've done myself. I've just learned to let them guide themselves. And now they come to me, and they tell me, like, oh my God, I think I had a premonition. And I'm like, well, what'd you see? What happened? And I tell them, you're right, you're correct. And sometimes I'm like, no, that's just common knowledge. So I'm helping them learn, but mine are still young. Okay. So this is your message, with much love and light. I just hope it helps somebody. 38 minutes long. Oh my goodness. On 4 hours of sleep. You guys are doing a great job as parents. And even if you truly aren't even a parent, literally, like, you never birthed any kids, you're still a parent to the universe. You're still a parent to many people that you walk paths with, that you cross paths with. So remember, being teachable and coachable as much as being the teacher and the coach. Okay, that is a very important thing that I use. I am never not like, oh, I know it all, and you don't. I'm never like that. I'm like, oh, damn, I didn't know that. Okay. Even if I did know it, I'm like, oh, wow, that's your version. That's cool. That's like super cool, because like I need to know, like, great minds think alike, but that is so neat that you see it this way, even though I kind of see it that way, but I really don't. But like, whoa, it helps you learn people more too. And it gives them a chance also to speak up and own their truth and what they know. Because again, at the end of the day, you guys, we're all souls having a human experience. So we're here to guide each other, help each other, teach each other, do our best to just be hand in hand with peace, love, kindness, and compassion. And this is your message. I hope it helps you guys. Have a blessed rest of your Wednesday. Namaste, Shalom.